If you're like us, then you probably have reading goals for the upcoming year. You probably want to read more books. Whether you want to read 2 books a week or 1 book a month isn't what's important. What's important is 1, identifying your reading goal, 2, creating a daily system to help you reach your reading goal, and 3, actually reading and eventually reaching your annual reading goal. In this video, I'm going to give you the same advice I used to give to my undergraduate students at Johns Hopkins. I'm going to help you and motivate you to reach your reading goal and exceed your reading goal in 2022. And by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea as to how that's possible. So, let's dive in. All right, if you've seen any of my videos before, my first piece of advice to help you reach your reading goal this year will probably not surprise you. Let's begin with a quote from Robert Louis Stevenson, author of the famous novel Treasure Island, which is right here. "I always keep 2 books in my pocket, one to read and one to write in." And this is my first piece of advice. Read like a writer. Marry your reading habit with your writing habit. But wait, maybe you're thinking something along the lines of, "But Sam, I'm not a big writer. I love reading books, but not so much writing." Or maybe you're thinking something like, "It's hard enough to make time to read every day. How am I supposed to make a writing habit work on top of it?" Fair point, my intelligent and intellectually curious hypothetical viewer. Enter the commonplace book. For the sake of time, I'm not going to say too much about what a commonplace book is exactly. To be brief, it is a journal that you can use to organize information from a wide variety of sources. Some people call it a writer's journal or a bullet journal. Basically, it doubles as a second brain. And many of the greatest minds throughout human history, from Leonardo to Toni Morrison to Albert Einstein, many of these people kept commonplace books, and for good reason. If you're interested in learning more about commonplace books, click here to see all of the videos that I have ever made about commonplace books, or click the link in the description. Our point is this. Set aside 10 or 15 minutes after you've finished reading for the day, and use that time to document your impressions of the text you just read. Starting and keeping a commonplace book can help you stay organized, and it will help you read deeper. And both of these things will keep you on the path, so to speak, which achieving a yearly reading goal requires. What sort of writing, if any, do you do when you read, even if it's just annotations? Let me know in the comment section down below. Tip number 2 to help you read more books and achieve your reading goal this year. Answer these questions. First, who are your favorite writers and what do they have in common? Second, what sorts of books do you like to read and why? And last but not least, where do you most enjoy reading and why? These questions are important, but before I say more, I'm going to share the second quote that I'm building today's video around. Once you have read a book you care about, some part of it is always with you. Moby and I are big believers in the power of reading. I love that quote, and to connect it back to the questions that I just posed, when we identify the books that we love, reading becomes an even greater pleasure. So my advice is to consider your favorite books. Make a list, and then curate a list of books that you expect to speak to you, to resonate with you, and to live with you when you're done. Next, write your answers to the questions I posed, all of which you can find in the description down below if you don't want to turn back the video, although that would help viewer retention rate. Print your answers and keep the paper close by. Again, the purpose of this piece of advice is to help you zero in on the qualities which you uniquely seek out when you approach a text. Okay, our last tip to help you read more books and achieve your reading goal this year grows out of these words. There is more treasure in books than in all the pirates' loot on Treasure Island. I think once you've paired a reading habit with a writing habit, and then once you've spent time writing about what qualities you care about most in a book, I think this brings you close to getting the most out of every book you read. Reading is an act of discovery that can take you places you wouldn't be able to go in the real world. It's a kind of meditative exercise, and it isn't always easy to do, but it is worthwhile. So it's important that you put a system in place to help you get the most out of it. And that's what I've tried to lay out for you today. So my hope for you this year is that you do discover the treasure in the books that you read, and that you do read more books and that you do exceed your reading goals. And if you're interested in learning more about what I think of as the value of reading and how you can become a better reader, I hope you'll check out this playlist I made. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time.